Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, this is my Thunderpole T3000, and as you can see there's a little 3D printed plate. I'm just trying to get this in the camera view there. Just on the back here with this attached to it. So I just drew that up quickly in the 3D design software yesterday evening, and it was done by the end of the night. So I just popped this on the back of that, and today I've screwed it onto the normal bracket. Now this radio isn't as heavy as I thought it was, but will it be light enough for this suction thing to work? I don't know yet, so I've not actually test fitted that. You might be able to also hear the 3D printer running in the background. That's because I'm 3D printing a mic holder as well, which is why I've got the microphone on the table here. So hopefully that'll come out okay, and the idea is that I just attach it to this back plate and then and try not to break that, and then hopefully what should happen is I should be able to just grab the microphone when I need to use it. So I will be test fitting it in the car eventually. Now I was hoping to also complete the video for the telescopic antenna here today, but that's not quite gone to plan because it was raining this morning, and also the wind speed is a wee bit higher than I would like for putting the aerial up for the CB, and also putting myself on site up at the old race course, because it would probably overload the microphone on here, and also I'd probably have a microphone problem with the radios as well, with wind noise being picked up, which wouldn't really work very well. So that's something that I am going to try and get finished off. That is a work in progress. So it's not been that much of a busy day for me today, but obviously I've been spending most of it designing up the mic clip for the T3000 to attach to the back of this. And hopefully once that's done, I'll be able to test fit that in the car and see where we go from there. So I'll stop the video now while I wait for that to 3D print, and then once I've got it 3D printed, I'll do a test fit in the car. So I'll see you shortly. Okay, so about almost a month later, filming the last part and this part, I've actually now got round to test fitting the Thunderpole T3000 in the car. Now, yeah, that hasn't quite gone according to plan. The plate that adapts the mounting bracket to the radio to fit on a mobile phone holder, well, that hasn't quite worked out. That actually broke while I was putting it into position. So that means it probably would have broke anyway. When I was driving along, it would have broken. The radio would have fell off. Also, where I've got the mic clip, I don't particularly like that because it's a bit of a stretch to get to the microphone, so I'll have to sort that out as well. So I'm going to revisit this at some point, but, you know, it's going to be included on the channel because, you know, well, I'm not an expert at 3D printing, but I think I know what's wrong. This piece isn't actually solid like I thought it was, because when it's done the holes to adapt it to the car holder, it's basically made the whole thing hollow, and that's not really ideal. So I'm going to see if I can revisit that as well and reprint it. So I'll have to look for the file and hopefully go from there. So it's resting on top of my phone holder, and it's just loose on that. It's completely broke, it's completely failed. So that's not ideal. So it's experimenting, and you know, that's what this hobby is all about. And obviously I've got to figure out the best way of putting it in the car. I mean, it's attached to the windscreen there right now, and I could put it there with the control panel for the 400, but it would just get in the way of the steering wheel and everything. So I guess you can just kind of see that it sticks out a bit more than it should. Now, before it broke, I had clearance with a phone holder, but unfortunately now it has broke, I don't have that clearance. So there's nothing I can really do about that, apart from 3D print a new bracket. And I'm going to revisit the microphone as well, because I'm not happy with that. But, you know, it's just something worth showing on the channel, just to show what I'm up to. So I've had the car nearly a month now. Well, it'll be a month on Friday, I believe. And I still haven't got the radio gear in it yet. I've been working out the best way of doing that. I was thinking of running the FTM 400 off its own separate dedicated battery. So I'm going to have a look at how much a battery would cost, because that way I don't have to run the radio off the car and try and figure out a way into the engine bay and run wiring and disconnect the battery because I'd need a code for this stereo, I think, and I don't have that code, and I'd have to take the car back to the dealer to get that sorted out, assuming this thing has a code on it, which I don't actually know because there wasn't a code with it with the instruction manual, and I'm not risking it. So I'm going to run the FTM 400 off its own battery. That means I can also run it with the engine off, so that would be good. This will just run off the cigarette lighter as normal. Antennas, I'm looking to put some roof bars on this car because there are mounting points to do that. It's just finding the roof bars, which it's like looking for a needle in a haystack finding them. So there are roof bars out there for this car because there are the mounting points on the roof, so it's just a case of finding them. And I'm sure I've seen normal versions of this car with roof bars on it before in the past. If I'd got the stepway version, then I would have been a bit easier, but I didn't really want the stepway version. I mean, it didn't bother me either way whether it was the stepway or this version, but yeah, it's a Dacia Sandero if you don't already know. And yeah, so I'll just have to work on progress, and I'll post an update later on. And if you haven't noticed this already, YouTube have been very good and have actually enabled the posts for this channel, which is actually quite surprising. I wasn't expecting them to do that, but they actually have enabled it. I'm not sure why they've done that. Maybe they just want more people to use them, because I thought you had to have 1,000 subscribers before that, and at the time of filming this I don't actually have 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, so there we go. Anyway, that's pretty much all for this little subject. It will be revisited, and I'm not exactly not going to include this on the channel because, you know, I'll have to include some of my failures as well as my successes, because it's... Now, this isn't plugged into the cigarette lighter socket and the ignition isn't switched on anyway, so because I didn't bring the power lead down, because there's just no point. This was just mainly a test fit to see if it would work. It hasn't quite worked to plan. So I'm going to, like I say, have a look at it. And I'm not really that expert on 3D printing, but I should hopefully resolve this little situation soon and ready to get this back in the car once I've actually got some roof bars, because that's how I'm going to mount the antennas. I'd rather not use mag mounts if I can avoid it. So I'll catch you in the next video, and hopefully it'll be one of my main videos, because this isn't actually one of the main videos. I've still got one to do on the telescopic antenna for handheld CBs that came with a little mag mount, which I will be putting on the roof of the car to test. And there's the Tiny SA as well. That one's been on hiatus for a while, so that's another one I need to crack on and do. So 7.3 for now, and I'll catch you in the next one.